Yo, what's good, Bills Mafia? It's Stevie Johnson, and you're in the sit down with my man Sauce God. Go Bills.
Freedom over fame. Freedom over cycle stays the same. Freedom over fame. Freedom over fame. The cycle stays the same. Freedom over fame. Freedom over fame. Freedom over fame. The cycle stays the same. Freedom over cycle stays the same. Freedom over fame. Freedom over fame. The cycle stays the same.
And if you're just now tuning in, Bills Mafia, it is the Bills Mafia Game Day Pregame Tailgate Show on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Right here, presented by Duff's Famous Wings, BuffaloSauceGod.com, the Zubaz 716 Sports Card and Memorabilia Store, Big Tree Inn, and Louie's Bar in Attica. If you're just now getting here, do us a favor, hit that like, share, and join us in the comment section. And please make sure you're following, liked, and subscribed with your notifications turned on so you don't miss any of the live versions of the show or the live versions of the Sit Down podcast on Friday nights, 6:30 p.m. on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, and available via audio podcast wherever you may get your podcasts. We'll be live here in just a few moments, right here in the Sit Down Bills Pregame Tailgate Show.
Freedom over fame. Freedom over cycle stays the same.
Yes, Bills Mafia. It is the Sauce God at Buffalo Sauce God across all social media platforms. Please do me a favor, make sure you're following, liked, and subscribed, notifications turned on. If you're in this stream, make sure you do me a favor. Please hit that like, share button, and join us here in the comment section. It is the Bills hosting the Tennessee Titans here in Week 7 of the NFL landscape in 2024. It's myself, the Sauce God, and Mo Down. Now, guys, bear with me if you see any brief moments of lag. StreamYard has been a little touchy all day for some reason. The power in Batavia has been a little touchy today as well. But we got ourselves a great show here. It is a big day. I mean, Bills Mafia, we are going to get a chance to see a new player in action today and a guy that could really come in and make a big difference. We'll talk about all that and much more right here in the Bills Titans pregame tailgate show. Mo Down, it's Sunday. And I know obviously you're on your way to Rochester coming out of your shop. But how are you feeling for the Sunday action with the Bills hosting the Titans for Week 7, brother? Don't forget you're muted.
Yo, sorry about it. There we go.
Good,
buddy. I'm pretty excited. I think it's going to be, I don't want to say an easy one because no game is easy, but I think this should be all right. We're facing Mason Rudolph. I mean, their defense is decent, but I don't think their offense is going to be much. We should be able to shut them down.
Here's the thing, though. It's not going to be an easy game. The AFC South contains a lot of really tough, nitty-gritty teams, and the Titans are a team that's given us some problems in the past, but that's, of course, when they had King Derrick Henry. It's a much different team now, no, but Mike Vrabel is their head coach. No Will Levis today, as Modown just said for you guys. But Mason Rudolph did have a playoff start against the Buffalo Bills this previous season, and actually had some success and found himself in a position to compete for a starting job, where he went to Tennessee, and ultimately they went with Will Levis. But I guess there's no mayonnaise this week, because we are not going to see Will Levis put mayonnaise on his fucking steak, sicko. But guys, this is the Sit Down Bills pregame tailgate show with myself and Modown right here on Facebook Live, YouTube Live. Don't forget, Friday night, 6:30 p.m., we are live with the Sit Down podcast. Everything from sports to entertainment, sports entertainment, all that stuff. In fact, we just released a video of superfan, Buffalo Bills superfan, Bill Samurai from Tokyo, Japan, on the podcast. And great video, great stuff, and great time. So, guys, make sure you have your notifications turned on. If you're not able to catch the live versions of this, though, we are available via audio podcast. So, Modown, we have ourselves a brand new player for the Buffalo Bills today. But we're going to go into the injury report for the Buffalo Bills and the Tennessee Titans for you guys at this moment. And I did see, obviously we were expecting to hopefully have James Cook back this week. Ray Davis did pop up on the injury report this week. And we're going to get an update as far as what you can expect for players to return from injury. Let's see. Okay, let's get this up right now.
As far as I can recall, I think I heard everybody has a chance to play. There might be maybe one guy in defense, but I think offensive wise, I think everybody has at least is dressing and should have a chance.
So the Titans inactives today against the Buffalo Bills will be as following. Will Levis, quarterback, is out. L'Jarius Sneed, which my girlfriend loves that name, he is out. Their defensive back, that's a huge loss for them. Leroy Watson, their tackle, is out. Ty J. Spears, running back, is out. Tight end David Martin Robinson is out. Keandre Coburn, their defensive lineman's out. And outside linebacker Caleb Murphy is inactive today as well. So as far as Bills players, let me get that pulled up right here. So we have no Mike Edwards today, which we haven't had Mike Edwards available for some time. Buffalo Joe is inactive today, so he will not get a chance to play in front of the home crowd. Edwafon, you know what? I don't want to say his fucking last name. He is inactive today. Will Clapp, offensive lineman, is inactive today. And Zion Logue, defensive lineman, is inactive for the Bills. So Ed Oliver is in. Khalil Shakir is looking like he's more fully healthy this week. And James Cook is going to play this week as well. Now, we didn't miss a beat without James Cook last week, but I think that today you want to have your starting running back in there to kind of just take the load off of Josh Allen, make this game easy for everybody, and just get in, get out. Hopefully no injuries, play a clean game, and come out of here with a victory and get to 5-2. So, Modown, overall, what do you think, if you're looking at the Titans, what is the one thing, before we get into any sort of pregame coverage here, what is the one thing Bills Mafia needs to be aware of when it comes to the Tennessee Titans?
Just their defense more so. I'm not too worried about their offense. I don't know enough about the team. I've been a Will Levis fan since he came around, just trying to cheer for that kid. And aside from the rest of the team, I don't really know what else they got going on. I know they got a couple of decent guys on who like Spears, Hines if he's playing, but I don't know. The guys on defense, I can't think of the names right now. Sorry.
I'll get you guys some updated stats on the Tennessee Titans and kind of what we're looking at today. I can tell you this much. The Bills are a 9-point favorite at home today, with the over-under currently at 40.5. Bills are a minus 500 money line. 62% of the ESPN analytics says that the Bills are going to win this game. So comparing the numbers, we see no Will Levis today. That's their main guy passing. He's got 699 yards in the year, 5 touchdowns and 7 picks. Versus our guy Josh Allen, no picks this year, 10 touchdowns, 1,100 yards. James Cook leading the way for the running game, and that's 309 yards, 4 touchdowns. Now, Tony Pollard is quite the running back. He just recently came over from the Dallas Cowboys to play for the Titans. So with no Derrick Henry, they got Tony Pollard, and they have DeAndre Hopkins as well. I believe they have Calvin Ridley too. So you do have some offensive playmakers over there that can, definitely make this game a little bit more simple for Mason Rudolph, especially if they can get it going. I remember last year when Calvin Ridley was with the Jags, he actually was able to kind of find ways to get it going against the Bills. So sometimes when you have really good receivers like that, you have a guy like this, Archie Capitelli, saying Titans by 10. I love when he comes in here and says that, because I believe the Bills are undefeated when he says that, except for the Ravens game, which that doesn't count. But all right, so you have some offensive playmakers over there. Let's look at the team stats as well. And guys, I'll tell you, it's not an easy game. I don't like when the Bills are heavy favorites at home. I don't know, man. I don't like that kind of shit because it's just like good teams win, great teams cover, right? But let's take a look at the team stats for the Tennessee Titans. If you guys are just now tuning in, please hit us with a like and a share. It's Sauce God and Mo Down right here. So, as far as I want to just pull up their team stats. Okay, there we go. Team statistics: the Tennessee Titans are averaging 19 points a game, allowing 22 points a game. They don't give up a ton of touchdowns, though. They've had 10 as a team, and then 11 they've given up. First downs, though, they don't give up a ton of first downs versus their offense has picked up more first downs. That's something to take note of. As far as their defense goes, I really think they have some playmakers, but I don't know if they necessarily faced a Bills offense that is going to have a new face today, Amari Cooper. And everybody in Bills Mafia knows that Amari Cooper was traded from the Browns this week after Devontae Adams was traded to the Jets for a third-round pick and some other compensation as well. Modown, we are expecting Amari Cooper to play today. We don't know how involved he's going to be. What would you put for expectations, or what could you give for as far as predictions to as far as what Amari Cooper is going to do in this Bills offense today?
Listen, the guy is a 10-year veteran. I don't see any reason why he can't just fit in there and know how to run some plays. It's not like our offense is that intricate. We don't have something crazy. So I don't see really why there's no reason why he shouldn't. I'd like to see 4 or 5 catches out of him. There's no reason he can't put up 100 yards and a touchdown. I'd like to see a huge game out of the guy, really come in and just make his mark.
I'd like to see him involved early. And that's something that I think that the Bills sometimes do a little bit of, but they don't seem to keep feeding that early, the early mouth, I should say, right? Unless it's the running backs, because they like to get the run game established. But if you can get Amari Cooper involved early, that's only going to build the confidence between him and Josh Allen, and also I think the other guys around him, because as much as he's going to come in and make a difference, it's going to honestly make his teammates around him better, because now you have to compete with a guy that's a true number one receiver in your offense. Look what happened when Stephon Diggs was there. He commanded a lot of the offense, and other guys had to find ways to eat too. Khalil Shakir stepped up and made himself quite a bit of a showing when he had to kind of step in and have his limited amount of targets, but he made the best use of them, right? So we might see a little bit of that today from some of the other guys. We'll talk about the offensive breakdown, the defensive breakdown, all that right here in the Bills pregame tailgate show with myself and Modown. Let's start it off with some defensive breakdown. Pain trains. We're going to talk a little bit about what the Bills defense is going to do today to stop Mason Rudolph, Tony Pollard, Calvin Ridley, and DeAndre Hopkins. So let's go ahead and get into the pain trains. All right, so the Bills defense has been able to always keep their offense in an opportunity to pull ahead in these games and find themselves in a position to win, right? We saw last week A.J. Epinesa, Greg Rousseau stepping up quite a bit. Greg Rousseau held a lot during the game, but we saw some solid tackling. Modown, what are the Bills defensively going to need to do today to make sure that they come away with a victory, should their offense not match exactly what they need to do as well?
I'd like to see a complete game out of everybody, really. Definitely, I think the defensive line has got a good chance to dominate. So I'd really like to see that happen. They showed out in the first few games, man, and it hasn't quite been there. I'd like to stop that run, not see Pollard break off some big runs. He's pretty quick, man. If he can get to the second level, it'll be tough. Dorian Williams, like to see him kind of laying the smack.
Yeah, I think overall, I'd like to see some really clean tackling. I feel like in recent years, when the Bills have had the level of defense they've had, which is elite, the kryptonite they've had sometimes is their tackling. And we saw a little bit of that with Breece Hall and the Jets last week to start off the game. Garrett Wilson was able to find separation, right? And today, you're going to go against two guys that can get separation pretty good, DeAndre Hopkins and Calvin Ridley. Of course, it's their backup quarterback throwing to him, but it is a seasoned veteran, Mason Rudolph, who's probably looking to assert himself in a chance to maybe steal the starting job from a struggling Will Levis this year. In a Tennessee Titans team that's not really looking to have the biggest ambitions, I think, this year at 1-4, versus them trying to get past the Bills team that is trying to stay steady and keep the ship going the way that it is and continue their momentum after coming off of a tough victory and try to get to 5-2 today, right? So defensively, Modown, I think the defensive backs have been doing a solid job. I've seen some, pass interference calls from Benford, stuff like that. But overall, it's the defensive pressure that could determine the outcome of how this game is going to go, in the trenches. I'd like to really see Ed Oliver and this is the trend with the Bills defensive players coming back from injury, them coming in and making a serious difference with one or more plays, right? Terrell Bernard with an interception against the Texans, giving us a chance to, obviously win that game. Then last week, we have Taron Johnson with the game-sealing interception. So I'm expecting Ed Oliver to maybe have 2 sacks today. I'm going to go on a little bit of a bold prediction here. Ed Oliver is going to produce a safety. Either him or Greg Rousseau is going to get the credit for it, but I think that they're going to produce a safety on defense today. I don't know if I could expect the Bills' offense to be a 100% efficient, well-oiled machine to the point where they're scoring touchdowns every drive, but offensively, I think I'd just like to see them do a few select things. We'll talk about that here in just a moment, though. This is the Bills pregame tailgate show with Sauce God and Modown right here on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. The Bills will be kicking off at home 1 p.m. Eastern time against the Tennessee Titans, looking to get to 5-2, 2-0 in the division still currently. And this is a game that you have to find a way to win because you do have some very tough games remaining. So we talked a little defensively what the Bills have to do. Let's talk about what they have to do offensively to find themselves in a position to win this game. Overall, I think we saw offensively the Jets. The Jets' defense was able to give us some problems at times, but we were able to make plays when we needed to. And Josh Allen was very efficient last week. I mean, he didn't have a huge passing yardage number or anything mind-blowing as far as statistics, but he didn't turn the football over. He completed passes. He had a lot of drop passes, too. He played efficient. He did what was asked of him. This week, I think the Bills offensively are obviously going to try to come out and establish the run. But offensively, Modown, tell me the 3 things in the Bills' offensive game plan today for victory.
I'd like to see a good, strong running game out of them for sure. Solid blocking out of the offensive line and keep Josh from hopefully having to scramble out to the right all the time. And some just good, solid catching. No drop balls. And then I'll throw in another one, obviously. Let's keep the penalties to a minimum.
Obviously, last week we had a fucking crazy game penalty-wise. 22 accepted penalties against the Jets between both teams, and that's something you don't want to see today. But you don't want to have those drop passes. You don't want to shoot yourselves in the foot, and that's the thing that I think the Bills have done a lot of in years of their offense has been shooting themselves in the foot with offensive pass interference calls. You can't have 1st and 25 versus 1st and 10 or 2nd and 3. You know what I mean? You can't have those kinds of things happen. So I'd like to see the Bills just establish what they're what's going to work today for them and have that be, what you're going to lean on, because you want to just come away with this victory. You're supposed to win this game. You got to just play a clean game. No penalties, no drop passes, and no injuries, right? But I really think it's an opportunity for Amari Cooper to have himself a chance in front of Bills Mafia for his first game as a Buffalo Bill to instantly insert himself into a core piece of this team that Bills Mafia is going to love on Sundays, right? So I'd like to see Amari Cooper targeted first. I mean, shit, they're not going to know what to expect. I mean, they don't have any sort of game film from Josh Allen and Amari Cooper or what Amari Cooper is in this offense. But Amari Cooper brings a different dynamic to what this receiving core is. Khalil Shakir, great with the run after catch. He catches everything, and he's real scrappy, right? Keon Coleman, big body, contested ball kind of guy. But Amari Cooper gets separation. He's got great speed, great strength. He's a big dude, 6'1", I think it is, 203 pounds, and he's going to get you that separation. One of the best route runners in the NFL, easily, you know what I mean? So I really think if they can find a way to get him going. All right, let me ask you this, Modown. What is the first offensive play going to be? Is it going to be a run, or is it going to be a pass, or are we going to see a little bit of play fake? What?
If either which way, I think it's going to be a run. I think they're going to definitely still try to use the run a lot, which will set up the the pass plays. Obviously, I think that's going to be the case. I don't know if Cook is going to be starting, so I would say either which way, it's going to be a run in.
I honestly think we're going to see play action to start the game. Let Josh Allen kind of establish himself in this game. And I honestly see the first pass going to Amari Cooper. That's just my guess. But then again, Joe Brady can dial something up to kind of throw me off quite a bit. But I really think offensively, what to expect from the Bills today is a solid running game. I think the offensive line has a chance to protect Josh Allen very well today and hopefully escape this with no penalties. I'm going to say Amari Cooper in his first game as a Buffalo Bill. And I'm curious as to what the actual sportsbook prop bets have it at the moment. So I'm actually going to pull that up right now and see what his receiving yards prop is for today in his first game as a Buffalo Bill. We'll also give you guys our picks for the spreads, over-unders, and some prop bets as well right here in the Bills pregame tailgate show with Sauce God and Mo Down. By the way, quick shout-out to my New York Yankees last night, getting the job done in Cleveland. We just lost Mo Down for a second, guys. But shout out to the New York Yankees. New York Yankees last night getting the job done. They find themselves back in the World Series again for the first time since 2009. And so this is an opportunity for the New York Yankees to get themselves a World Series ring and get back to that winning culture that they've had established for some time. Guys, if I'm laggy or if I'm frozen or anything like that, please bear with me. It's a StreamYard issue, and it's also today something with the power in Batavia. I don't know what's going on, but nonetheless, we're still live here, kicking ass right here in the Sit Down Bills pregame tailgate show. All right, we lost Mo Down, but guys, just give me a moment. I want to check out these prop bets, see what they have. I'm not sure what happened to Mo Down. Hopefully he comes back in. I wonder if turning that off for right now will help. All right, so the Bills are a 9-point favorite at home. They are, I'm not sure what they are against the spread right now. That's something I'm going to have to look up here in a minute. So as far as receiving yards, let's see. Same game parlay. What do they say? What is FanDuel saying for these Buffalo Bills today? Amari Cooper. Receiving yards. Okay. Amari Cooper is currently at 35.5 point receiving yard prop, and that's interesting to me. I mean, I'm not shocked that it's not that high. I mean, if he gets 40 yards, it's not a bad debut per se. I mean, especially if you throw a touchdown there. But Dalton Kincaid, 37.5. Khalil Shakir, 35.5. Keon Coleman, 21.5. Let's see what James Cook is like. Mo Down, you're back.
Yeah, sorry, phone was overheating there for a second. I don't know what was going on.
Amari Cooper's receiving yard prop today is 35.5. DeAndre Hopkins, 40.5. Calvin Ridley, 41.5. I forgot they have Tyler Boyd, 22.5. Tony Pollard, 22.5. So this, by all means, looks like the experts are thinking it's going to be a low-scoring game. Mo Down, 35.5 receiving yards for Amari Cooper, over or under?
I'm feeling confident, man. I think he's going to get over that.
I definitely see that he's going to get over that too. I think it's not crazy to think that maybe he gets 60 or more yards. I think maybe a touchdown, maybe not something where he's throwing a back shoulder fade per se, but maybe he gets a catch and a run after the catch. I mean, it's a chance for the dude to get electric and a chance to enjoy football a little bit more again. I mean, this guy was playing much better with fucking Joe Flacco, okay, versus $235 million guaranteed to suck and Deshaun Watson. So I really think this is an opportunity for Amari Cooper today to just get back to playing football and play with a true elite quarterback in Josh Allen and in front of a fan base that's dying for a guy to come into this offense and fix some of the woes, per se, right? Now, we're talking a little bit about the Bills offensively, what they're going to do today. We're going to need to go into a little bit of the I'll take that action. So we're going to give you guys some picks and props for everything for the Bills game and other action in the NFL. Mowdown over or under 41.5 for the Bills Titans. It just went up back to 41.5 from 40.5.
Oh, geez, that's a good number. I'm going to say under.
I'm honestly thinking it's going to go.
I'm thinking like a 24-10 game.
I'm honestly thinking the Bills are going to put up at least 31 today. But I'm thinking, is Tennessee going to get 10 or 13? I think that they're going to go over today. I think a 1 o'clock game. The Bills are playing normal time again at home in front of their fans. Unless for some reason they don't find a way to establish rhythm on offense early, I see this game going over. That's just my take on it. I think spread-wise, it's tough for me to tell you to take the Bills -9, but Mowdown, what would you say?
Yeah, I think I'd be all right. Like I think we got definitely a 2-score advantage over them.
I think that they could cover 9 today. They don't typically cover a lot of high spreads, but there's got to be a reason that Vegas likes them at 9 points today. Even with Mason Rudolph, their backup, they still have some viable playmakers over there. So I think the Bills are gonna maybe give up a little something early, but nothing major, nothing drastic. And I think that maybe the defense comes away with some opportunities to score points as well. And I think that they maybe win this game 31-13. That's my prediction. So as far as anytime touchdown scores, Mowdown, who do you like for the Bills today?
I think Josh is going to put one in for sure. And I'm going to go with the Ray Davis and hopefully an Amari Cooper.
I think James Cook gets a touchdown today in his first game back from injury. I think this is an interesting one. Amari Cooper is only plus 200 for anytime touchdown scorer. I mean, receiving touchdowns are a little bit different in this Bills offense because it's spread around so much, right? But, I mean, that's compared to plus 260 for a guy like Dalton Kincaid. So I honestly think Amari Cooper maybe gets a touchdown today. And it could be a bold prediction, but I honestly think that that's possible, especially like you said, Mowdown. He's a seasoned veteran, an elite playmaker, and really you have a guy that can throw the football to you. As long as you can catch the football, why can't he have some statistics today, right? So that's my picks. Mine's Mowdown's picks as well. Mowdown, what do you like? Anything other than what we just gave? Anything else in this game that you like?
I would say if there's, any sort of under type of bet for Mason Rudolph, I'd like to see our defense try to keep him in check. I'd like to see a big game out of the secondary to kind of hold him under, try and keep him under 200 yards. I think it'd be huge with the receivers they got.
So who do you think is going to actually find a way to get it going a little bit offensively for these Titans? Like, do you think it's going to be a Tony Pollard or DeAndre Hopkins or Calvin Ridley? Because they got to have somebody that gets it going, right?
Yeah, I would think it's going to be, again, more so the run game, if anything. That's where our defense has struggled, I think, the most. King Henry aside, obviously, but I think that's where we've had the biggest issue. So I think so. Pollard's pretty fast. He can break out. So I'd like to try and keep him in check.
I think, Pollard's going to be the guy they lean on because that's typically the guys that can seem to get it going against the Bills is running backs that can catch the football to the backfield like, Breece Hall last week. What Derrick Henry was able to do running the football. So the Bills are going to have to just find a way to slow this run down because if they can't establish the run, it's asking Mason Rudolph to do quite a bit to beat a really, really good Bills defense, especially with coming off of a victory, right? So that's our 3 picks and props. Of course, we do not encourage or endorse any illegal or underage gambling of any sort. Bet and play at your own risk where it is legal to do so. Let me fix this real fast. And so, Mowdown, I mean, overall, I want to know who do you think is going to be a unsung hero for this Bills team today, making 1 or 2 plays that kind of just make sure that they come away with victory. For me, last week, it was Taylor Rapp, and he was also player of the game, but he was also made the unsung hero play of stopping Breece Hall from scoring a touchdown that only gave them 3 points instead?
I'm going to go with Dorian Williams. I think he's got a chance to be in the middle of a lot of things today. So I'd like to see Dorian Williams make a nice sack or, a nice pass break up through the middle, something along those lines.
I'd like to see Ed Oliver making some plays defensively for the Bills too, and find a way to get his rhythm back. I'm excited to see Khalil Shakir back. Everybody knows he played last week, but he wasn't really healthy. And this week he said he's been feeling excellent, feeling way better, and ready to play. And I think that he's going to have a chance to step up alongside of Amari Cooper. And these guys, I think, are going to be a great 1-2 tandem. And I think Khalil Shakir is going to make a few big plays to pick up some first downs this week and keep some drives going. And I'd like to hope that Amari Cooper has a little bit of that as well. But Modown, as far as other NFL action today, let's go through some of these other games that will be taking place at 1 o'clock. Seattle and Atlanta are in Atlanta. That is at 1 o'clock, of course, like I said. Why on earth is it doing this? So Tennessee and Buffalo, obviously, we got that covered for you guys out there. Cincinnati and Cleveland for a tough divisional matchup and two struggling teams. That is a 42.5 over-under. Cleveland is a 5.5 point underdog. Houston and Green Bay, that's a good game. Green Bay is currently favored 3 points. That's saying a lot. Over-under 48.5. Miami is going to be playing in Indianapolis today, facing off against the AFC South like the Bills are today. That's a 43.5 over-under. Miami's a 3-point underdog. Only a plus 122 money line. Anthony Richardson's back this week, and Tyler Huntley is another week in as a starting quarterback for the Dolphins. So maybe he's got a chance to play this offense a little bit differently and use his playmakers. So who knows with that. We're also at 1 o'clock, Detroit, Minnesota, 50.5 over-under. Philadelphia and the Giants, an NFC East matchup with a 41.5 over-under. The Giants are the 3-point underdog. And then we have our games at 4:05, of course, in Sunday Night Football. So that's the NFL action today, guys. Bills are on at 1 o'clock. Again, it's great to be back playing 1 o'clock football on Sunday. Right here in the sit-down pregame tailgate show. It's myself, the Sauce God, and Modown. As always on Facebook Live, YouTube Live. So let's do a little getting saucy right here, and we're going to get out of the show so Modown can get to Rochester safe and sound and get ready to get the hype going for us. So let's go into Getting Saucy, presented by Duff's Famous Wings, where medium is hot. Remember that you don't have to ask for them extra crispy if you go to the original on Sheridan Drive and tell Joe Duff that Sauce sent you. And again, guys, medium is hot. And meaning that fucking medium is hot. That's coming from me, myself. Getting Saucy right here, Facebook Live, YouTube.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Ice cold, nice, refreshing Labatt Blue on a fierce storm behind J817.
It's a cold front, is what that is.
I'm fired up this week, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get you fired up. Bills Mafia, you want to hear me getting saucy this week? It's simple. Mac Jones and the New England Patriots, and also, too, the Miami Dolphins, and anybody that's got anything bad to say. Bills by a billion, baby. Let's go. Let's go, Bills. Getting Saucy, presented by Duff's Famous Wings right here in the Bills pregame tailgate show, presented by BuffaloSauceGuy.com, the Zubaz Zone 716 sports card and memorabilia store in Depew, New York, run by our guy Modown. And also Big Tree Inn right next to the stadium. Wing nights are on Thursday. And Louie's Bar in Attica, one of the home of one of the best wing and wet combinations in all of Western New York. Tell my guy Chad that Sauce sent you, and he'll probably tell you, fuck off. I'm not paying him for cornhole. So, guys, getting saucy this week is simple, man. It's going to be all about the Bills offensively playing well enough that their defense can give up a few big plays, per se. I mean, the defense has been able to bail this team out at times and continue to create opportunities for this offense, even when the offense isn't playing well enough to win games. I'd like to see the offense kind of return the favor this week and be, all right, no matter what they do offensively, it doesn't matter. Our offense is just a well-oiled machine this week, constantly picking up first downs. And I'd like to see less than one punt today, no turnovers, and I'd like to see no 3-and-outs. Even if you're moving the football down the field, you pick up a first down and you're still moving the ball down the field, well, at least you're winning the battle of field position, and you're still making it incredibly difficult for their offense to move down the field. So by playing that way offensively, you're still playing great defense in that regard as well. So I'd like to see the Bills just play a clean game. I know I say this every week, but don't shoot yourselves in the foot, and there's no reason that they shouldn't win this game today. So at 1 p.m., Eastern Time in Orchard Park. The Buffalo Bills will be hosting the Tennessee Titans for Week 7 NFL action and looking to get to 5-2 and continue their run, trying to get themselves into the playoffs, win the AFC East again, and find themselves in a chance to win a Lombardi Trophy this year. So, Modown, give the people a message right here before we get out of here and get ready for this Buffalo Bills game.
Let's just get a nice, complete, strong game out of everybody, top to bottom. Want to see Josh doing some nice distribution. Get back to what we were doing the first couple of games, man. Now that we got a huge piece, we just added to the offense here. It should really make it that much easier for him. I'd really like to see that through the offense. And again, same thing from the defense. Just a nice, solid, complete game. Let's cover our bases. Let's not create any dumb mistakes here. Keep the turnover to a minimum and try and be creative.
So, overall, Bills Mafia, let's keep the fucking noise rumbling. Let's keep the hype going, and let's keep the positivity out there as well, because I know a lot of people like myself even last week got a little negative in that weird Jets game, but we cannot have that kind of attitude. Take it from my guy, Bill Samurai, which you guys can catch the full video from that exclusive interview that I did with Bill's superfan from Tokyo, Japan, Keita Nakagawa, a.k.a. Bill Samurai. He said, never give up mentality, and staying positive is the key for Bills Mafia and this team as well. So, Josh, lead them boys out there. Amari Cooper, welcome to Buffalo. We look forward to saying Coop a bunch of times because I'll tell you what, man, this Bills offense is ready to eat. But now that you throw Amari Cooper into the mix, you guys have no excuse to not get it done. And I know it's week 1 for him as a Buffalo Bill, but nonetheless, that's why we brought him here, to fit into this culture in this team and fit in what we got going on. And Brandon Bean has said he's always been a big fan of Amari Cooper from afar. Amari Cooper has had great things to say about Josh Allen. So let's just see it all come together today against a struggling 1-4 Tennessee Titans team. And let's get to 5-2 and keep this thing going. As always, Bills Mafia, we want you to stand tall, bolster up, stay positive. God bless, be safe, enjoy the game. And for those of you that are not able to catch the live video of the game, I'm going to start doing a thing on my YouTube channel showing the game cast with some play-by-play commentary from not only the Bills radio announcers, but myself for you guys out there, so you guys can keep yourselves up to date with what's going on in the game. For those of you that do not have cable or streaming services, I'm going to be doing that here in the coming weeks, guys. So, Modown, appreciate you very much for stopping in here. It is Sauce God and Modown in the Bills Pregame Tailgate Show. And don't forget, live Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Facebook Live and YouTube Live in the Sit Down Podcast with special guests such as Bill Samurai, former 97 Rock DJ Slick Tom Tiberi, and soon coming current radio DJ for 97 Rock, Carl Russo. Guys, make sure you check out the audio versions of this podcast as well on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts from. And don't forget, all of our sponsors right here on Facebook Live, YouTube Live. Make sure your notifications are turned on so you never miss the live versions of this show. And as always, guys, God bless. Enjoy the game. Stay safe. And go Bills.
Go Bills.